Okay, thank you. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, be a mentor to younger people because I see people disrespecting the younger people. You know what I'm saying? How are they gonna look up to you when you disrespect them? You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be setting an example. You're older than them, they're supposed to look up. They're our future, you understand? So you don't want the future to be misguided. So don't be clowning them and making fun of them and downing them, you understand? Because you look dysfunctional. You know what I mean? You don't look like nobody to look up to. You don't look like no king wearing a crown. You understand me? You don't look like nobody that's putting it down in the right way. You understand me? When you do that to people, you dig. You got to be an image that they look up to and respect. If they don't look up to you and respect you, then they're not going to listen to you. And that's where you get it wrong. You older people that be competing with the young people, putting them down. That's not the way to do it. You understand? You got to give them respect, uplift them, motivate them, give them positive words, man. When you came up, I don't know if they did that to you, but when I come up, man, these people embraced me and gave me inspiration. And when I did something wrong, they told me how to do it right. And they showed love, man, and concern, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't be hard on somebody and discourage them and talk down on them, man. That's not the way to do. You understand me? You don't do that, man. I remember back in the day, you understand me? You know, I was, talking to this cat. Me and another player was over there in Oakland and Yost. She's coming from Yost. We went to Nation Burger, and there was a young cat that came over there to us. And the cat that was with me bought him a burger and treated him right, you understand me? And that dude said, man, what do you guys do? What are you guys from? You understand? So I said, well, we from the gang. We're ex-players, you understand me? And this and that. And we were sharply dressed, and he admired that. And he said, man, you guys, I don't believe it. Most of you guys, older guys like that, are bitter and on dope and on crack and all that. I said, well, some of them are like that. I said, me, myself, I got a second chance at a first-class life. And I got 20 years clean, and 20 years clean. And I was giving a rundown on, you understand me, that the game ain't like it used to be. I'm giving him a word of advice. I'm being a mentor-type figure by giving a mentor advice. You understand? When you meet somebody like that that's younger, you don't discourage him. He's trying to find the right way. Because a lot of them other cats, like he said, they want some dope, or they discouraged, they bitter, because they never got a second chance at a first-class life. And they never got out. Some of them fell off on crack. Some of them never came back. So they don't have the ability to lead. So they don't have the ability to show you the way to go and to be a mentor figure. See, they don't know how to do that. So therefore, you got to let them go. But know there is some people, you understand me, that's capable of being a positive example, someone you can look up to. You understand me? You know, if you don't have a father that treated you right, a father that was right, a mentor first is to be a father figure. He should be someone to advise, show care, and concern, you understand, for the younger people, because this is the future. And these ones that's off the charts with the gang banging and all that crazy stuff that's too far gone, you stay away from them. Don't even get involved with them, because they got too much hate and animosity built up in them already, and they're dangerous. So you leave them alone. But the ones that's seeking information, the ones that admire you, the way you may look, but like me, they always admire the way I look and the way I talk and carry myself, because I always reach down and speak to them and give them a word of advice. You know what I mean? Like the players did me when I was young, when I was 16, 17, 18, on up till I was 20, in my 20s. They always gave me advice, you know what I mean? I had a Fleetwood Cadillac, and I remember when a woman said, why you want to get a Corvette? Why you got a big car, you know? I listened to everything everybody said for the reasons they said it, you understand? And it's, and it's a reason for everything. But you have to listen. And then cats told me, like, man, don't be with them cats. You with all them dudes gonna get you in jail. And sure enough, when I was around them cats, I was going to jail. So I cut them cats loose, because they was Rudy Poots and they was half-stepping, and they weren't full-fledged players, man. You know, they was mixing it up and in and out of jail. They was hustlers. See, it's the difference between a player and a hustler. A player plays, a hustler, he just does what he can do to get money. He doesn't specify no specific form, fashion, you understand me, of things. Players got certain things they do. A hustler sell dope, sell this, sell that. He'll do anything for money. Not a player. Player don't sell drugs. Certain things a player don't do. When you sell drugs, you're not classified as a player no more. You are a person. You are a drug dealer. Simple as that. Or maybe a dope boy, some people call it. But the point of it is categories and things that people do, and you got to realize the consequences and the title that you're holding, if you want to be honest. Because you got cats that selling drugs, and they say they pimping, or they say they players and all this kind of stuff. And when you're selling drugs, you're not a player. Player plays. That's a category by itself. a dope dealer is that his one title is a dope dealer. If he might have holes on the side or have no, the dope is what's catching everything. So you're eliminated from the playing field. You understand? It's one thing by itself, and people don't understand that. And that's why these young people, they come up and they're looking at these other people that's out there in the streets, their own age or maybe a few years older, and they're not giving them no advice. They telling them how they do it because they don't know no better because they don't have nobody to teach them. So it's all like people just, they don't have no right solid player, somebody that really got the game from way back and give them the essence and the truth. Because they all want to fake with it. People want to fake with it and tell you just what they want you to hear. So you look up to them. They write a book or they sell you advice. You know what I mean? They selling you advice, man, they're not giving you the real. They're giving you something they want you to hear. And half the time it ain't the truth. So therefore, that's why I said, get you a mentor, somebody that's really solid, that's really serious, that's trying to help younger people, trying to go out their way to help them. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Big brothers or whatever, any of them people. They ain't got to be in the Get Fast Life. Anybody older that got knowledge and they care about you. Go to the big brother places or just go places where older people are respected, doing something positive, and hang around them, man, and get up under them, and they'll help you. They'll advise you. You go to somebody that's active duty in the game or doing something, they ain't going to tell you nothing. Because silence is golden. Game is to be told, not sold. Game is to be sold, not told. So that you can't get it like that. Very few people, like when I was younger and I was acting on active duty in the game, I didn't tell nobody nothing. I didn't talk to nobody. I'm retired now, so now I can talk. But the point I'm making, you got people, squares mainly, that will help you, man. They give you advice and guidance. Because you got cats, man, let me tell you about this. In Las Vegas, you understand, a friend of mine went to Las Vegas. He's a young cat, he's in his 40s. These cats in their 60s and 70s. They dropping salt on him. They trying to poison him. The broad likes him. She come to him and she like him and everything. He catches the broad. They ain't had no business saying nothing derogatory, trying to discourage the man from catching the broad, telling her he ain't got no money, he's this. You don't do that. You uplift or you say nothing. But you don't discourage him down. You supposed to be a player and he supposed to be a player. And how you going to cross him up and he's young? You supposed to uplift. That's why your luck ain't going to be right because you ain't doing right. Somebody older than you ain't gonna bless you. You ain't going to get blessed with the older cats that you fooling with because you're not being right, you understand? You got to be right in the game. You got to be right in life, you understand, in order for a person to appreciate you, you understand? And that's what you have to do. You have to realize that, you understand me, that the way things are, you understand me? It's like you have to be solid, man, solid in the game, And that's what you have to do. See, people don't have a tendency, you understand me, to misunderstand what's really going on. Like when it comes to, living life, you live it to the best of your ability, but you don't think you're better than nobody else. You might look better, you might be better, people might think you're better, but you be humble, you understand me, and you be down to earth. Because you could, just like I've been up and I've been down. I've been up like to the top, and I fell all the way to the bottom. So I know that stuff don't mean nothing. What you have and how you look don't mean nothing. It's how you feel and the things you do. And that's why you got to do things to be appreciated, you understand me? Things to make a mark in life, you understand me? Help the younger people, give them a word of advice, give them a word of encouragement, man, and it will go a long way because you'll be blessed by blessing them. The blessings come your way for blessing them. That's just the way life is, man. You can't be selfish. You be selfish and hold information and try to, all that hate and animosity, that stuff don't go nowhere. You got to show love, man. You got to be a loving person. But getting back to the Las Vegas deal, the guys, you understand me, talk down on the man with his woman. Me, I wouldn't have had nothing to say. Plus, I would have checked them about it because I'm a man, and I don't care who they are. They could be older. They could think they're better. When they disrespect me, I'm checking them. You understand? I don't care who it is. I'm checking them. This cat didn't do that. He let them say what they say and made him look small. But the broad happened to like him, so she went along with him and told him, I got money, he ain't got to have money. The broad told them, but he didn't stand up for himself because he's intimidated by them guys. See, and that's the wrong way to be. That's the wrong attitude to have. If you were a woman, and I don't care who it is, you check them cats because you as big as them or bigger because you got the woman in your favor. And you campaigning to lock the broad down. And you can't have them trying to kill you off because that's what happened. That's just like when I'm on a host show and different things. I told people, I said, oh, man, you kill me off and do this here. I'm feeling like I'm back on the track. I got to defend myself, you understand me, like a Mac. So that's what, you got to do that, man. You got to defend yourself I don't care how old you are, you got to stand up, man. I had to do it many times to cats, coming in my face and trying to give me some jive, trying to intimidate me, because like I said, I never carried a gun. I drove them cats over to the city and got protected from the people that I knew because I made a crowd and made a showing in the crowd, and they held court in the street because sometimes it got to be like that. But when they did that to the young brother, I told him, I said, man, you should have. I told him what he should have did, because they don't never respect you after that. And after that, they don't have respect for him. They don't even respect him. And you know what I mean? Even though they gave him a trophy that time, he don't go around them. They don't have no respect. They tried to play him out of me because I'm his mentor. But see, I'm going to tell you something. You can't do that because I stood up. I roasted, toasted them, and put them on the burner, all of them, you understand, and cut them all off because I let them know I'm a giant, you understand. You don't play with me. And these are some of the bigger guys in the game. But they humbled up and got back to me, you understand me? Now we cool. But that's what you got to do. You got to put people in place. You don't let nobody run away and put you in no kind of check or nothing. And that's why you being a mentor, you're supposed to reach down and help them people, not do what they did. They were wrong. And I would tell them, I'll check them, make them know. Because that ain't right. I see them do it all the time. That's what made me do this show. I seen people on the show belittling and talking down on a cat, and he had his woman with him. And he should have checked dude, but he didn't because he looked up to dude and respected him. But dude didn't return the respect. He being all cocky, being all like he's somebody. Dude ain't nothing. He 40 years old. He ain't shit. The point of why I say he ain't nothing is because you don't do that to younger people. You don't have respect. You clowning and acting a fool. You do that. Man, that's not class. That's, you know what I mean? You ain't showing no respect. Then you ain't nothing. You ain't got no character. You ain't got no polish. Just because you think you in the game or you was in the game. Man, you wasn't true to the game. And you don't know about the real essence of the game. How it really is, man. And how you're supposed to treat people and have respect, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say reach down, be a mentor to these younger people. I've done it many times, come to people, giving advice, talk to them, you understand me? And if they come through and listen, cool. Sometimes, most times they ain't gonna come through because they really ain't ready. You tell them a few things and see if they do it. They got to be serious, man. They got to really want to better themselves. A lot of times they don't want to do it because these other cats, they don't look up to the older people like they used to. Like I used to sit in the coffee shop. I used to go to Foster's and sit there with the older players and sit there and drink coffee and act like I was a part of them and listen to everything they said. And they would tell me, give me advice. You know what I mean? And they had them brand new Cadillacs sitting outside and they was sharp. And they was popping game and they had it tight. They had their game tight and they was in their 20s. And I was like 16, 17. But I knew I wanted to learn something. I didn't want to, I didn't go run to school and try to talk to them cats that was my age. Because all they're going to do is try to, put you down because you're the same age. But these cats that were older, that had it going on, would give me the right advice. And when I see these older cats in their 40s and cats in his 20s, and they clowning him and talking to him like not giving them the real, making them feel like he ain't nothing. And they want to challenge him and be better than them. Man, you ain't supposed to be better than him. You're supposed to think about how you was when you was 20. Think back 20 years ago, where you was at and where you needed help and what you needed advice. What somebody should have did for you or what they could have did or what they did for you. If they didn't do no advice for you, you know better now. You 40, you should help him. Not hurt him, not talk about him. He had a nice, fine woman. Give him advice on how to hold her and tighten her up. And be a better player with the woman. If you can't give it to him, leave him alone. Don't talk down on him. Give him some advice and leave him alone, man, because what you're doing is showing your ignorance and your inability to do anything. You showing that you ain't got no game. That's what it shows. Because the only people that don't have no game are the ones that act like that. You know what I mean? Clown other people. Always want to fight and argue because they ain't got nothing positive to say, so they want to cause chaos and corruption. They rather argue. You arguing with somebody younger than you. You're supposed to be older, right? You say cat in his 60s, or cat in his 40s. Man, you're supposed to look and be a mentor to him because he ain't been through a lot of things you done been through in life. So you tell him, man, you give him a word of advice. You see, just like me, I'm 70, and I mentored a cat that was in his 40s. I was in my late 60s, and he was in his late 30s. Early, he's in his early. But you know what I mean? But it was good because I gave him the real. I told him the truth. I didn't lie to him. I didn't sugarcoat the game. I told him how it was when a player was leaking and when a player was on top of the game. I gave him the real experience that I've been through. myself personally. I didn't sugarcoat it. A lot of these cats, they tell you something, they just tell you the good parts. You know, they don't tell you like me. I told them the time I slept on the bus, you know, when it was rough. It happened. You know what I mean? That's the worst it got. I slept on the bus. I didn't run home. This in the wintertime in Seattle, cold as I don't know what. I pawned my fox coat. I had a fox, leather coat and fox. And I pawned my coat in the morning, get it out, play all day. You understand me? And then by the nighttime came, if I didn't get no money, and it wasn't on top of my game, I would have that coat back in the pawn shop. You understand? Then if I got money, I'd get a room and do what I do. But it's up and down. It's chicken one day, feathers the next. And I'm talking about real player stuff. Not no stuff where you run home to mama, you run home to your sister, you run home to a friend, or you run for help. No, you stay in the game and play for your money, man. You stay in the game, the bitter and the sweet. And that's when you get blessed. You understand? When you hang in there, man, you don't run home with nothing. And that's the things I try to tell these people. Well, back when I come up, you had places to go. You had bus lockers to put your stuff up. You could walk around like you had a spot and people wouldn't know. Put your stuff in the bus locker. Play for your money. Get bank. Then go get your room, man. And you know, you had to do what you had to do, man. But you didn't run with players and run together 4 or 5 of you and you all go into the room and you ran out the room and people put you out. All that old crazy stuff. No, you got to be a mature, you got to be a man, and you got to listen to what these older cats tell you, because that's what I did. When I was running with them cats, he said, them cats ain't no good. Man, I got away from them. At first it was fun, but it comes a time like Cadillac told me, man, you got to think about business. Fun is one thing, but you got to get serious, because going in that penitentiary and all that stuff ain't no good. That'll ruin your life. And you're a good catch. You got a good catch hand. You know what I mean? You're a nice looking man and you dress. You know, he told me the positive things to make me feel good and uplift me. And that's what an older person is supposed to do. And these are the kind of people I had around me. So that's why I do it to the people. Because, you know what I mean? Because I've been blessed, man. My whole life I got around good people that gave me the advice I needed to upgrade my positions that I was in life. You got a few cats that want to ridicule you. They might be a few years younger than you. And they jealous and all that, and they want to talk about you because you at an age where you ain't doing it no more. But hey, you did it. So what can they say? You know, they ain't doing it no more either. But the point of it is, and they probably wasn't as big as you. They wasn't as big as you at the time when you was big. And the point of it is, it don't make no difference. You did it first. You older than them. They got to respect you, man. If they don't respect you, then you can't respect them, and then you can't give them no advice you stay away from because they think they know it all. And the ones that think they know it all and don't respect the older people, man, they gonna get a lesson. They get a lesson now. They stressing and they getting a lesson now. They have it hard. They probably ain't got no good broad. They have, you know, their life is rough. They don't know it. They don't let you know it because it's behind the scene. That's why you see them by themselves. You never see them with their woman. You understand me? And all that type of stuff because they don't have one. And that's why I said that they don't be blessed. You understand what I'm saying? Because they don't have that love. You got to have love, man. You got to show love. You got to have love. Show them love, not hate. If you show love and not hate, you'll be great. And that's what I try to tell people. But I always reach down and help people. You know, but I got crossed a lot of times. I learned the hard way. That's why I don't mess with anybody. And if a young person come to me in the wrong way, you know, all talking crazy and stuff, and acting like that, I don't say nothing to them. I get away. I say, hi, bye, thank you. And I get away from them. If a person come to you with sincere, and you know he's real about it, because I know these young cats, they be there, they wear a suit, they wear it for, they on dope, but they wear it 4 or 5 days. I give them $1 and get away from them. Because I can't tell them nothing because they ain't trying to hear nothing. They buy a suit, but then they know you're supposed to change every day. And you're supposed to, you know, keep your money. Don't wear a suit if you're going to do that. Wear a jogging suit. Get you some jogging suits. Don't even put suits on. Get you a jogging suit and tennis shoes. You can get more wear out of them. And don't go to the cleaner. See, that's what people don't understand. There's shortcuts to do it. When I wasn't doing it, I wore sweatsuits 20, 30 years ago when I was, you know, in the daytime and at nighttime, I put the suits on when I went to the track. I put the jogging suit on in the day, put the sharp suit on at night. But the jogging suits, the tennis shoes, comfortable, you know, I was trying to be comfortable and I was still hustling and playing, you know, I was still active. I was on active duty, so I had to move around so you be comfortable. It's a time for that. Then when I started getting real money and I started really pimping, then I started wearing suits all the time because I wasn't doing nothing. I wasn't doing nothing, you understand what I'm saying? I was riding around. So then I wore suits from the time I woke up to the time I went to bed. See, it's a time for everything. You got to know time and place for things. But you ain't never seen me wearing no T-shirt, no jeans, and no sweatsuit. You understand me? You know, and it's been 25, 30 years, 20-something years. You know, because I've been sharp and staying sharp, because that's the epitome of the P. That's the way it's supposed to be, and I'm carrying the flag, you understand me? So that's why I look like this, you know, ambassador to the game, you know. And it's the way you're supposed to carry yourself as being a true top flight king in the game. Elevated to that level, different levels in the game. I'm not, I'm a king now. You know, you can't go no higher than that. People say you can go all these different positions they call themselves in. You know what I'm saying? I'm a king. With a queen. That's where you're supposed to end up. That's the ultimate part of life, is being with someone and being on top of yourself, your game. That's it. People don't understand that. You know, and then you tell people how to get there. Like I tell people how to get there, but they gotta grow, they gotta be ready for that. See, for me to be a mentor to you, you gotta be ready to accept the things that I tell you to make a change. You running around with a bunch of cats, dudes, I tell you, that's negative, they hating on you, they don't want to see you grow because they're not gonna go. They wanna hold you with them. They wanna hold you with them. And what you have to understand, you got to leave them alone. You're going to let them go and stand and be your own, because that's the hard part right there. The hardest part, you understand me, to growing and getting it together is learning to be by yourself and just be you and women or whoever you want to be around, but not around dudes. Because dudes are going to kill you off. Your age dudes in your age bracket, you might have a friend or two. Sometimes it's good to have a friend if he's thinking on your level and he's trying to go like you going. But not if he ain't, you got to get away from him. You can't be with the ones that ain't trying to go where you going. If they ain't growing with you, they're not going with you. And that's what you have to understand. You got to let them go. And these are things I tell people as being a mentor to you. I'll let you know that them cats, you hear the way they talk. I've seen the way they did it with some people I mentored. Oh, man, who is he? Who does he think he is? And boom, boom, boom. Instead of, they're trying to kill you off. They telling you who is he think he ain't nobody, right? They killing you off, but you growing and you going and you listening. And you know you got to cut that cat loose. You got to cut a lot of people loose, just like I had to do. I had to cut a lot of people loose because they were not ready. They were not ready for the game that I was giving them. You understand? They were ready, but they weren't ready because they felt threatened. You know, when I was giving them the real. I know dudes told me. I seen them years ago. I seen the cats outgrow me. You understand me? Because I was drinking and I was hanging with the people that really weren't trying to get it together because, you know, they had drugs and alcohol. Drugs and alcohol was holding them back. So as soon as I cut that loose, I knew where to go and how to get there. I already knew I had the ingredients when I was a youngster. The older cats told me. So I listened to them, but then when I got into drugs and drinking, it wasn't that I didn't know better. I didn't do better because I wanted to enjoy the company of people that drank and did drugs. I wanted to do that. I was like, well, I'm not serious now. I'm just having fun. So that's what I justified it by. And I knew exactly what I was doing. I was having fun at the time. And I was in my 30s, so I thought I had time. And I did. I jumped out when I got 30, I think it was about 34, when I did the 2 little years at McNeil Island. And I came out, I straightened my life all the way up. That's when I stopped drinking, started doing the things I had to do, running by myself, getting myself together. When I was in work release, I was getting myself together. I was buying clothes. I had a woman that was a thief, and I was wearing suits and suited and booted just like I am now in work release. I didn't go look for a job. I went out there when I had to go to the meetings and stuff. I had a bar that was a thief, and she would get me clothes and stuff. I had so many clothes in there. When I came out, I was suited and booted because the bar was a booster. And then they sent me back because they said, where'd you get all these suits at? With tags on it and everything. So what I did was, you understand me, I took the suits, I went back to the joint, then they sent me back because I didn't do anything wrong. And then they told me, they said, look, man, you're going to have to stay. You ain't going nowhere until you get a job. You save $1,000 and you get you an apartment. Man, I wasn't even from Seattle. I lived in California. You understand? My family, everybody was in California. I said, no, I want out of state Florida. They wouldn't give it to me. So I left. I took off on my own. I took all my clothes western to they had bus lockers there. Took them to the train station, had all my suits and had them all packed up. It took me about a month to get everything together and get me a bankroll. And then I got on the train and left. I stayed out 10 years. 10 years on the run. Playing, not doing nothing, playing for my money, man. Pimping and playing. And then when I got caught, because drinking and I got back to drinking and messed up. That's a long story. I ain't gonna get into that. But the point is, I fell all the way to the ground, and then I got back up. Now I got 25 years clean today. But the point of it is, when I fell, I learned my lessons. I did what I wanted to do, and when I fell, I was running with the wrong people. I was close to like drug balls on drugs. My friend was drinking and drugging. I was around the wrong environment. So as soon as I cut that loose, got around squares, people doing positive things, got an organization, I got it together. I got it together. Because I made my sobriety my priority. That came second. God first, my sobriety second. When I did that, I went to the top, man. As far as I knew that material things were not number one on my list. I wasn't worried about a car. I wasn't worried about jewelry. Because when I had all those things before, when I lost them, I seen that wasn't a priority. That didn't mean nothing. It went like that. And people changed on me. So I said, no, those weren't really friends. Those were people that were just cheerleaders. They were cheerleading for me. And you don't need that. You need real, true friends, real people that really mean that. You understand? Thank you very much. And also what I'm going to do, I'm going to close this show because I'm letting you know, be a mentor, you understand me, to these older people. To these younger people. These older people need to be mentors to the younger ones. Be a mentor figure. If you got anything positive to say or positive direction, give it to them. Don't give them some jealous, bad, negative stuff. Tell them something positive, uplifting, because they got a life ahead of them to live. And you want them to live their best life. So it'll be more people showing love than people showing hate. Because all the bitter people that show hate and ain't straight, them the ones, you understand what I'm saying, that need guidance the most. Because that hate ain't supposed to be there. Hate is there because they hate and jealousy because they ain't got nobody to look up to. They don't have no motivation. They don't have no happiness. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. International Radio for the record. That's my show for today.